amazing mama. Welcome to the third and final video of the Working Mom Guilt series. Today, we're digging into tips to overcome working mom guilt. By the end of this video, you'll have actionable steps you can take today to combat your working mom guilt. Let's get started. In case you're new here, I'm Shelly from Personal Improvement Academy. I support multi-passionate moms who love their big dreams and the family they want to share them with. If you missed the previous two videos, go ahead and watch those first since they set the stage for the techniques that we'll be introducing here. I want to start with a little perspective shift. If you are a working mom and you're feeling alone and isolated, I think this will really help you. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, in 2022, 67.9% of mothers with children under age 6 participated in the labor force compared with 76.7% of mothers whose youngest child was age 6 to 17. If you're a working mom due to choice or circumstance, you're not alone. Heck, you're not even in the minority. Traditional gender roles lead us to believe that we're less than for participating in the workforce, but that mentality simply doesn't reflect the current condition of the world. In the first video, we discussed the definition of mom guilt and how it's holding up your actions compared to your core beliefs and finding that they don't align. We can align our actions to our core beliefs by making tweaks and changes to our everyday lives. If one of your core values is quality family time, that might mean taking time right before bedtime for 2 minutes to read to your child. It could also mean that right after you pick your child up from school, you play soccer with them for a couple minutes before getting settled and getting into the homework routine. It could mean setting boundaries around answering work emails outside of work hours. I encourage you to challenge your limiting beliefs and reframe your thoughts. Just like I did at the beginning of this video, you can look for evidence contrary to that limiting belief to help yourself prove it false. That will make it easier for you to let that go and replace it with a more positive or more helpful thought. For example, I used to have the limiting belief that I couldn't be a good mom if I was working. I've had plenty of evidence to the contrary, but somewhere I picked that up and it was keeping me from doing what was going to be best for me and for my family. You can reframe that. In hindsight, I can see that I'm a better mom when I'm working. I'm more attentive when I'm with my kids. We take vacations, which we weren't doing for years on years when I was not working. We focus on intentional family time, and we have the resources to be able to do ice cream nights and movie nights and things that we were not able to do when I was not working. Social media can be a major contributor to mom guilt. If you're constantly scrolling your feed full of curated images of the perfect family with the perfect mom, it's gonna cause you to feel inadequate. I recommend you be very intentional and set boundaries around your social media usage and what's coming into your mind through your social media feed. If you are constantly feeling inadequate, maybe you should reevaluate who you're following. Instead, find social media accounts and people who uplift and support you in your journey of motherhood, whatever that looks like for you. And put some healthy boundaries around your social media. If you're constantly scrolling, that's not gonna do good things to your mental health or your mom guilt. In general, setting healthy boundaries is going to be really helpful for your mom guilt, because if you're not taking on things that you know you can't handle and you can't do 100%, then you don't have to feel guilty about that. You need to align the things that you're saying yes to along with your core values. That way you're not going to feel guilty because you're trying to do a million things that don't actually matter to you and don't have time for the things that do. My next recommendation is to simplify. I really love the book Essentialism by Greg McKeown. The premise of the book is that there are very few things that are actually essential in life. By identifying those things and focusing your efforts there, you can make big strides in the directions that matter and let the other things that don't matter fall away because they don't matter. So that has to align with your core values, right? So you want to identify your core values and make sure that you're focusing your effort and your energy in those places, because that will keep you moving in the direction that actually matters to you to create the life that you actually want. Next, prioritize self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup. So whatever self-care looks like for you, it might be, the stereotypical bubble bath and face mask. It might be pursuing a hobby. It might be reading. It might be taking a nap. Do what is going to fill your cup. A lot of times we get caught up in this never-ending cycle of just taking care of everyone else's needs. But if you're depleted, you can't help your family. You can't be there when it matters. So make sure that you're prioritizing your self-care and make sure you're taking care of yourself so that you don't run yourself into the ground. Because if you crash, that's not helping anybody. reality. Next is self-compassion. I love the idea of assuming positive intent, and that applies to ourselves as well. I feel like we hold ourselves to a very, very high standard a lot of the time, and so we end up feeling like we're falling short. I think that we need to step back and kind of give ourselves grace and just reassess that, are you doing what you feel is best for your family? Okay, then stop stressing about other people's expectations. Imagine how much better the world would be if we just gave each other and ourselves grace and assumed that everyone was doing the best that they could with the resources that they have. Last is community and connection. Seek out spaces that are non-judgmental, where you can be uplifted and supported, and you can do the same for others. This mom life is hard enough without mom wars tearing each other apart, and I think that everyone would be better off if we could just give everyone else and ourselves grace and assume that everyone's doing the best that they can with the resources they have, and that we can just uplift and support each other, and just try and make motherhood what it could be. I could only scratch the surface here in a quick YouTube video, so if you are interested in diving deeper into the topic of mom guilt, I have published a book that's available at the link in the description. When you check it out, I would love to hear your takeaways so that we can create a community to support each other. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.